Thanks for tuning in to Bourbon Drop. I'm your host, Myron. Today, I've got a special episode for you guys. Look, I know that it's titled Bourbon Hall, but it also has COVID and it also has a lot of other stuff in the title. So I know why you guys are here. So to the 10% of the audience that pretty much consistently watches the videos, I appreciate you guys. We are going to get started with this bottle haul, but I've got a ton of information. I've got a new website that I just got finished doing some designing with web.com and their AI program. My new Patreon that I'm starting. So look, just hang around for the rest of the video. Stick around for my man Dave V's samples. He blessed me with some amazing samples. So look, let's get into the first bottle. So the guys who watch this channel on a regular basis probably also realize that there is a little bit of an issue right now with the mic and the sound, because the acoustics in this room they're not the greatest, put it that way, because I used to be out in the living room of the basement, so it was a lot wider open, but the mic was a directional mic. Now this mic, it's still a directional mic, but it picks up all of the echo in the room. So I do apologize for that. So, you know, the guys who watch this channel on a regular basis, I know it looks like it is the same, but I am in a different area. But let's get into these bottles. So you guys who watch the channel on a regular basis are going to see some of the same bottles you've been seeing over the past couple of weeks. Forgive me for that, but I think that the people who don't watch consistently really need to see these videos and really need to go back and check out these reviews. So, first bottle on the list, and these are in no particular order. This is the Maker's Mark Heart Release, the 2024 Heart Release. Everybody went crazy over the cellar age. I had to get my hands on a bottle of the cellar age. Couldn't do it, chased it down, never got it. Did get a couple of samples. I believe that's one of the samples that Dave B put in a box for me. But shout out to Tom. Tom was one of the guys who got me my first sample of cellar age, so I can put that thing up against some other things. But if you have not checked out the Heart Release review that I did on this thing, go back and check it out. Also, this Michter's barrel strength, this thing, please check out the full review. I know that is a unicorn, but I see why it's a unicorn. This thing right here is crazy, man. I don't want to give too much away, but as you can see from the smile on my face, I really enjoyed it. Go back and check out that review. This is a brand new bottle and I cannot wait. I'm probably going to shoot the video tonight. I am a big fan of Remus. I wasn't a big fan of the price increase, especially when they came out with 6 and it went from like $85.90 all the way up to $120. So the new price has jumped to $120, or should I say stayed at $120. I did buy the 7 at $120. I thought the 7 was excellent. 5 was incredible. Left 6 alone because it was dogged on YouTube. But here we are with 8. So this one will be being shot tonight. I can't wait to get that thing on the channel, man. Also, you know, I was out sick with COVID. So, you know, shout out to a blessed man, truly blessed 987 in the comments for checking on the brother, man. You know, COVID did have me down for a couple days, but you know, being stuck in that room, I was able to do a lot of things. I was able to, like I said, get my new website up and running. It is up and running, but it doesn't have anything for sale yet because I'm kind of still going back and forth. One, with the distributor for the glasses. 2, I need to get up with Mike. He did an excellent job for Rest Assured and Graphics. It's just, you know, those things take money and take time. You know, unfortunately, I am short on both when it comes to just play money, hobby money. I would love to invest more into myself. That's another reason why the Patreon is starting to come into play, because getting those hats and shirts and the glasses and all that stuff on top of buying these bottles, that stuff gets expensive. So I've got that in the works. And when you go to that channel, you're going to be able to see recommendations to a blog. You're going to be able to see what is it, like I said, the recommendation to the blog is a small part of it, but it's got like this little slideshow that gives you new bourbon news. It's got the stuff that you can order. Right now it does say sold out because, like I said, I had to back the inventory down. I'm also going to be putting together a how-to video to help you guys out there who, whether you're in a bourbon or whether you just want to start a website, get that thing off the ground. There is a direct link with a, the little YouTube icon, so you can click on that and go straight back to the Bourbon Drop page. I mean, it's got a lot of stuff on there. Like I said, it is still in its infancy, but you guys can check it out. I'm going to put the link in the description. I'm also going to put the link on the screen. But during COVID, man, it slapped the taste out of my mouth. Yeah, just like that. It slapped the taste out of my mouth. I tried after a couple of days to just sip on something because I started feeling just a little better, and I was like, okay, you know what? By the third day, I was like, okay, I'm cool. Had just talked to my wife about, being lucky that I didn't lose my taste and smell. And I didn't lose my taste and smell when it came to food, but when it came to whiskey, I tried to pour myself some JDSB BP Rye, which is one of my favorites. If you are a fan of the channel, you know that is one of my favorites. And man, it smelled like straight rubbing alcohol. Tasted like swamp water. It was horrible. It took a couple days to get my palate back acclimated to the whiskey, but when I did, that's why you see this bottle. I had to go out and get another one of these bottles. This is the Old Label Knob Creek. This is the 2016 to 2019 release. They did release a non-age stated in 2019 with a different label, but you can pretty much bet on this being anywhere from 2016 to 2019 with no age statement. I blended that thing with this right here. This is the 13th Colony Southern Rye. Yeah, Southern Rye whiskey with finished with French oak staves. It's amazing by itself. I actually need to shoot the review for this one because thanks to the people at 13 Colony for sending me this bottle out. I mean, I really appreciate it. I never got around to doing a review. So much new stuff had dropped. But anyway, I went out and got this bottle. This is a 1 liter. It was about $55.99 or something like that. Then after taxes, I think it was like 60 something. So it was well worth it, man. Next on the list, shout out to my man Brad. Shout out to my man Brad. Brad went to Georgia, and Brad, the dude's just got one huge heart, man. He's a huge guy with a huge heart. So I'll describe him like that. But Brad is he's a good dude, man. He'll tell you where he's at. He'll send you pictures. He's like, hey, do you want this? I'm down here. What are you looking for? And first thing that came to mind was the ASW Fiddler. And first thing that came to mind was the Blue Note Juke Joint. So he was like, hey, I can get the Blue Note Juke Joint. Then his buddy was like, hey, they have a mixtape. I didn't know even know anything about the mixtapes. So this is a mixtape specifically. It says chose for Georgia. It's on here somewhere. I was kind of surprised when I saw it. I was like, wow, here in my face. Blended exclusively for Georgia. This is the mixtape number 3. This will be a Patreon exclusive review. Trust me, I am not forgetting about my YouTube family. I still will have a ton of content on YouTube, but of course I got to build my Patreon up. So we'll get into that in a second. So like I said, shout out to Brad, man. So Brad actually came back with quite a few bottles. He came back with about $6,000 worth of Old Carter. I mean, the dude loves Old Carter. He uses them to trade too, but he loves Old Carter. He loves the flavor of them, and I can't blame him. Old Carter makes some of the best stuff. So speaking of Old Carter, Brad really looked out for me because Brad wanted me to do a review and a comparison because I talked a lot of trash about my Rye 3 16-year-old whiskey. This is Brad's bottle. This is not mine. This is not mine. However, I will be giving away a 1-ounce sample of this and the Rye 3 when I put them up against each other. So that is one of the things I'm going to be doing with a Patreon. But this is the 16-year-old American whiskey from Old Carter. This is a OC batch number 4. Brad told me that the OC batch number 4 actually comes from the Old Carter Club itself. It's an Old Carter pick. I didn't know that, so that is amazing. but I made some pretty big claims about this being a GTS beater. Brad was like, put your money where your mouth is. Look, shout out to Kevin, because Kevin gave me some 05 to put it up against. And it just, like I said, it barely edged it out. In my opinion, it edged out the GTS. But Brad was like, put your money where your mouth is. Put these two on the channel, blind them, and let's go. So I was like, all right, cool. So the last bottle that Brad got me from Georgia was, and this is just a stand-in, ASW Fiddler Georgia Heartwood. It's a store pick, so this is just a stand-in. That, when I did the review on the bottles from Georgia, I was blown away. That ASW Fiddler, man, it was something about it. I had it up against 13th Colony's Cash Strength and had them both blind, and at one point the ASW Fiddler was my favorite, and then the 13th Colony edged it out towards the end. But I can't wait. There's a funny story behind it. Like I said, they had so many bottles of Old Carter. This got mixed in with his buddy's batch. So it is in Hagerstown, Maryland at the moment. I will be picking it up on Sunday when he comes to S&W. Shout out again, Kevin. So I will have myself my own bottle of ASW Fiddler. That's probably going to be a YouTube and Patreon release. The Patreon will probably have some behind the scenes stuff on there, a little bit more, mixing, sticks and whiskey together, just trying to get those things paired, because YouTube does frown on that. All right, God, man, I got to get some of these bottles out of the way. All right, so one of the bottles that I said wasn't going to go fast, and I was like, I like it. I don't think it's worth the money. I like it. It started to go fast. I started to pair this thing with a couple sticks, man. I really like this Elijah Craig Toasted Rye. Like I said, I still don't think it's worth that $55 price point that they have on this thing. If they had this thing for $45, that toasted marshmallow note, I would keep this thing on the bar, man. $39, $45 would be ideal, but $55 to me is just asking a lot for what it is and what else is out there. Last bottle on the list, and like I said, guys, please stick around. I'm going to give you some more information on the Patreon. Just a regular simple bottle of Buffalo Trace. Regular simple bottle of Buffalo Trace. I got lucky at the drops. Virginia ABC changed their drops. I just walk in, Eagle Rare sitting there, Elijah Craig Toasted, which is highly allocated at the moment, sitting there. Buffalo Trace, which was allocated, now they kind of put this on their website. So just sitting there, walked in today, got the Remus just sitting there. I looked, I said, Remus 8, and the guy was like, yeah, he said, it just came in today. He said, you just happen to be lucky. I was like, yeah, man, right place, right time. Also, same thing with this. Coda Spody, shout out to Coda Spody, man, because we were all on our text group, and he was like, look, they got 2 more left. And if you saw the video, I was 40 minutes away from home, and then the store was 40 minutes away from me. So we're talking about a total of 80 minutes. So I got home, changed clothes, drove to the store. I don't even think I changed clothes. I got home, hopped in the car, drove to the store. They still had 2 on the shelf. I picked one up. Coda Spody went back the next day to get the last one off the shelf. So I haven't had an issue yet with the Virginia ABC drop system. I did speak to a young lady today who was not at all pleased with the new drop system, because today all they pretty much had was 375s of Eagle Rare and 375s of Blanton. So it was like, and then you had, because Benchmark is still limit 1 per day, so they had a ton of Benchmark. They had some Joseph Magnus, a couple of the Redwood Empires, but I've been able to get things off the shelf, as you can see. Now let's get into what I want to talk about with the Patreon. So the Patreon is actually going to be tiered, and most people know, if you already deal with a Patreon, I didn't bring you guys a Patreon for a long time because I didn't feel like I had anything else to offer besides what I offer on YouTube. But now that I am getting into barrel picks, I think that it's a good time to really, like I said, just kind of invest in myself. Hopefully you guys will invest in me, and help me bring you more material on Patreon. So there's a bottle drop tier and there's a bourbon drop tier. So the bottle drop tier, and you can go on there, I'm going to put the website on the screen and I'm going to put it in the description as well. But the bottle drop tier, it's cool. You can, 3 members will win 1 ounce samples at the end of every month, depending on what I have on the bar. You can also get access to some of the Patreon only lives. You can get access to some of the Patreon only material. It offers different things, but it still lets you into the world of Bourbon Drop on the Patreon side. All right, so then you have the Bourbon Drop tier. Now the Bourbon Drop tier, that's going to give you more of a 2 ounce sample. So you'll get 3 members at the end of the month that can win a 2 ounce samples from the Bourbon Drop tier of anything that I released that month. So whether it's the Remus or whether it's the Blue Note or whether it's the Michter's, and it doesn't matter what platform is on. So it's across all platforms. So whether or not I release it on YouTube or Patreon, it doesn't matter. If you are in the Bourbon Drop tier, you're just automatically entered in a chance to win, one of those 2 ounce samples. Also, you get first dibs on barrel picks. So the Bottle Drop tier gets second dibs. First, the Bourbon Drop tier gets first dibs, and then we can finally release it to the public. So, like I said, we've got this barrel pick coming up. That's another thing we're doing. The Matt with Whiskey Wisdom, Carlos with Whiskey Corner. We've got Barrel Dave. We've got the Bakers from Baker Drinks. We've got Sean from Echoes in Eternity. We have 2 half barrels coming. We're still in the works with those guys. We did all of the samples. We've gone through the paperwork. We've gone through the naming. We're submitting some other stuff. But those 2 half barrels are amazing. I can't wait until you guys are able to get your hands on some. And I'm probably going to do a bottle giveaway, to be honest with you. So, the Bourbon Drop tier and some samples of it on the Bottle Drop tier. So the Bourbon Drop tier could possibly get some bottles given out, and then the Bottle Drop tier could be getting some of those samples. So, I really appreciate you guys. Trust me, YouTube, this has been quite an experience. I am just over 2 years in. I can't say that I can't thank you guys enough. I appreciate you guys pushing me up over the 4,500 subscriber mark. Come on, 5,000, let's go. After that, 7,500, let's go. 10,000, let's go. But look, one of the biggest contributors to the channel is my man Dave V. As far as samples wise, Dave V always looks out for a brother. I gotta cut this because I gotta get into the samples, man. Stick around. All right, so nobody does samples like Dave V, man. What is this right here? Tumbling Dice 11-year-old. I've never had an 11-year-old Tumbling Dice. That thing is going to be amazing. If you don't know, I'm a big fan of Tumbling Dice. We've got the Maker's Mark Celery's 2023 release right here. So he hooked me up with, my second sample of that. We've got, what's this? This is R.M. Rose Founders 1867 Bourbon Whiskey McFarland. This is 129.7 proof, man. I'm telling you, when Dave gets you a package, it's like poker chips. It's like I'm all in. There's one in here that is super special. I'm trying to get to it. Keep you guys around. He gave me another sample of the Michter's 10-year. I can't thank him enough for that. That thing is amazing, man. What else we got? We've got Glens Creek OCD number 5. Short Barrel Cigar Blend. Dave know I like my stick, so I'm gonna have to put that one with a stick. Crittenden's Cut Above. This is a 5-year. Oh man. We've got Joseph Magnus Murray Hill Club. So this is this is special release number. Oh, this is the special release number 4. This is the one with the navy blue label. So I can't really wait to get that thing on the channel. Where are we at, man? I gotta get this one out here. This is the Angel Envy Bourbon Whiskey finished in sherry barrels. It's 116 proof. We've got the Russell's Reserve 15-year-old. Dave, when I saw this thing right here, man, I almost flipped out. I did almost flip out. I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, I can't wait to put that thing on the channel, get it up against the 13. Everybody's been doing that, so I might not do that. I just might give a straight up review. I don't know. You guys tell me what you want me to do in the comments. We've got 2 more here. Let me see. We've got the Augusta Distillery Old Route 8-year coming in at 134.8 proof. Ooh, boy, it just don't get no better, man. All right, last but not least, what we got? We've got New Dawn, age 6 years, bourbon. This is black woman owned, coming in at 116.8 proof. So as you can see, man, like I said, it's like poker chips when Dave gets you a packet, man. It's like poker chips. You gotta be like, I'm all in. But I can't wait to get those things on the channel. Shout out to you, Dave, man. I really appreciate it. Everybody in the bourbon community appreciates everything you do. But if you guys have any more questions, like I said, I am going to put the website, which is bourbondropstore.com. You have to type it in exactly. It's such a new website that it's not going to pull up by just typing in bourbondropstore.com. So the HTTP semicolon // you got to put all that in there. But I'm going to put the link. Also, Bourbon Drop on Patreon. So I think if you just go to Patreon and type in Bourbon Drop, I think out of the 2 pages, I am the last, I guess because it's the newest channel, I am the last channel on there. So you can go over there and check those out. Like I said, I haven't uploaded any content to Patreon yet. There's content coming, I promise you that. Also with the website, once I get all of my distributors down and figure out, exactly how I'm going to do everything, you will be able to go on there and buy things. But in the meantime, just go over there and check it out. Take a look at the Bourbon News, take a look at the blog. If you click on the blog, it'll take you directly to the blog where there is a total list of low proof all the way to high proof stuff for bourbon drinkers out there. Also, like I said, if you click on the YouTube icon, that will take you directly to my page. I will be uploading new stuff as far as the Bourbon News goes. So, and don't get married to those prices that are on there right now. Like I said, I'm still working with distributors and manufacturers, so give me some time. But those are the big things, all the bourbon haul that I got, and all of the stuff coming new to you in 2024. And by the way, let me know what you think about that Knob Creek and 13th Colony rye if you got it. And with that being said, let the whiskey flow. Never run out unless you hit it to a drop. Till next time.